Hi, my name's Joshua Mills, and I'm the game designer at Compulsion Games. I'm going to walk you through a Mechanics 101, Security and Joy Levels. This might be the first and last Mechanics 101, but we'll have to see how it goes. In any case, as most of you know, there is a drug in the world of Wellington Wells and in We Happy Few called Joy. What this does is it makes you in a very blissfully happy state. The society themselves, the people can pick up whether or not you are on your joy by your actions and the way you're kind of blending in with the way the society works. But on top of that, they've manufactured these devices called anti-downer devices. Like this is a joy detector right in front of us here. These things are designed specifically to ward out downers, to check to see if you are taking your joy. So this one is connected from the waist going into the village here, and you see there's some bobbies guarding it. What I'm doing right up here is I'm approaching the capacitor that is actually running, like powering the joy detector. Once I go over here, I'm actually trespassing within an area I'm not supposed to be, and the bobbies, aggro onto me. We move ahead there, and you can see I'm actually placing an anti-future device on the side of the capacitor. What that does is it disables the actual detection of the joy detector, so I can freely go through it, and it's not going to register that I'm a downer, because you can see my joy level on the left is completely down. So technically this alarm should be going off and everybody should be freaking out, but none of that happens because I've circumvented it. This is actually an old system. We're moving away from this one a little bit, and we'll get into that a little bit further here. As well as the joy detector, inside houses you'll find these kind of lasers right now that are currently in the pre-alpha build, and those things do exactly the same. They'll detect whether or not you're on your joy. The ones actually in the pre-alpha right now are not intelligent enough to know whether or not you're on your joy. They just trigger if you touch them. But that is exactly what they're supposed to be, anti-downer devices and trips that are in the houses. The houses are wired to protect the citizens of Wellington Wells. Just like this, I go to climb into the window and I hit it and trigger it. The bobby is coming because of the alarm. He opens the door, walks in. An added little bonus to this video here is I end up pushing the bobby outside for a fun thing for those who have access to the game right now. If you push an AI twice and the second push lands while they're staggered, they'll actually fall over. You'll see that here. Boom. I quickly close the door and then I lock it and then back up, and that sound you probably heard there is actually the fact that bobbies can bash through doors. So again, a nice thing to help vary up the AI. Now, jumping ahead here, we're looking at in-editor stuff. This is the new system that I've been bringing online. I call it Security 2.0 because I've always wanted to do a 2.0 of something. Anyway, you can see this little speaker here will be what will determine the sound, the noisemaker inside a Welly's house, and then there's a button there, so Wellies can now run and activate the security on their own. Now, on top of this, you can see I'm walking under what is going to be replacing the lasers in the houses right now. I hit that one right there, trigger the alarm, and I turn it off. So the whole system's getting a bit of an overhaul. Now I'm taking a whole bunch of joy here. You can see the level raising on the left, and now these triggers are smart enough to know whether or not you're actually on your joy. So as a joyed up welly, I can walk through there. We're actually going to be adding another level of feedback so that the beam will turn green whenever you walk through as a success case. Now every house will be wired with their security, but on top of it they'll have a home capacitor just like this one. So if I remove the power cell, which is like the battery, you can take that and you can build other things in the world with capacitors. You'll notice that it powers the security system down within the house. The beams turn off, the actual button, the AI doesn't know this. They'll run over and still try to hit that button, but it won't do anything. So this is a really good strategic way of being able to secure a house and continue to move forward. But in a second here, I go ahead and I re-hook up the system by putting in the power. Now, why would you want to put power back into a down security system? Well, maybe security doors and stuff like that, which we're not showing right here right now, maybe they're closed, and you want to get those back open. So you'll have to repower on the security system. So again, I show you that I trigger it because my joy detection, my joy level's down. And at this point, I show you how I've gone and changed the anti-future device. So it is no longer a placeable, it is now a throwable. So I can go ahead and throw this over there, and it'll do an AoE like shutdown on any futuristic devices. And you can see here that since the capacitor was within that radius, it's gone and shut down the security. It gives you about a 30-second buffer. There's a little bit of an added buff, like edge to it. just to give you enough time. Now, the cool thing about it being a throwable means if you do not have direct access to it, you could lob one of these through a window and shut down the security of a house and then break into the house and do that sort of thing. But obviously, these are the kind of things that we'll be looking to our community for feedback on to see whether or not, like, no, they like the personal touch, I want to sneak up and, you know, activate the device directly, or a bit more of a ranged option like this. You can see here that the device actually should have turned back on, but, you know, early things. Now I'm going to move ahead to something completely different. It's actually not part of the Mechanic 101. This is just to show you guys the speakers, the radios that are in the game. We've gotten a lot of feedback that they're noisy and people want to be able to turn them off and they don't want to hear them all the time. So, well, naturally, we're listening. So I went ahead and, again, in an early build that's currently on our end, it's not live yet, you can now approach the lovely little radios all through the world and toggle them on and off. So it's a really simple thing, but it's a quality of life thing. I mean, a lot of people brought it up to us that they wanted to be able to turn those on and off, and a lot of people tried. So now you can. But that pretty much wraps this up. That'll be the update around the security and how your joy level actually will interact with inanimate objects in the world, not just the people. Because the people, there's a whole social structure on how you have to get around them and interact with them. But then on top of that, there are these anti-downer devices, and we're just getting started on implementing them. And that'll bring the video to a close. I'd just like to thank you for taking the time to watch the video, and we look forward to your feedback. So if there's anything that you'd like to hear about We Happy Few, maybe we haven't explained something well enough or whatnot, just reach out to us. You can get us on Twitter, on our forums, and we'd be more than happy to share more information with you.